Prehistoric Planet, Season 2. Welcome, guys, again to the channel, Ranking with Dinosaurs, where we rank, you guessed it, dinosaurs. And I'm going to keep it real quick here, really brief. We're following up with last episode, the last video that I posted on the channel. It was Season 1, Prehistoric Planet. I'm going to be using the same tier list, so I'm going to be still ranking them this Season 2 with the episodes from Season 1. So the previous tier list is still there. So we're going to be continuing with Islands. So, first episode of Season 2, Islands. I have to say, I don't know what is it about the pilot episodes of Prehistoric Planet, like the first episodes of the seasons, but they're bangers. And what I mean by that is Islands might be my favorite episode. I say this about almost every episode, but Islands actually sticks again to the formula of showing a lot of variety when it comes to the animals that is presenting in the Cretaceous. Like, one of the segments actually shows one of the things that was missing on the first season, which are mammals. And we got a Dilithium in Madagascar actually trying to raise some babies. And we actually get a cool fake out scene where the hunter, Machikosaurus, we think it's actually going to eat some babies. And you know how this show is with babies, and it actually get faked out, and it actually gets hunted by a prehistoric snake, Matsoya. And staying on Madagascar, one of my favorite Abelisaur shows up in Majungasaurus. Cool ass animal. I love how sausage-like it is. Pause. What? I love his tiny legs, and I don't know. Majungasaurus is just cool. I love it in the show too. It's funny because this one tries to hunt some one of the coolest new additions to the show, Simusuchus. Adorable little guy. A prehistoric crocodilian. I talked about it in the Crocodilomorph video tier list. Go check that one out. But it's adorable. A little pug crocodile herbivore. Pretty adorable looking. So, outside of Madagascar, we see some Hatzegopteryx doing some assaulting on some Tethys hadros, one small little hadrosaurs in, I think they're from Italy. Italy, actually. What is today Italy? But a cool stalking scene, which is straight out of Jurassic Park. Like, I don't know why Hatzegopteryx hasn't shown up in one of the Jurassic Park films or used them as such as in this show. Because that scene where it's hunting the little Tethys hadros, scary and sick. As a big Hatzegopteryx fan, that's such a sick scene. But yes, what else do we get in the episode? Oh, the little Zalmoxes, which are rafting. This is an actual thing that happens today, where some islands get colonized by some animals getting on some natural rafts that takes them across the ocean. Well, not across like vast. I want to say it's not like transatlantic, but you know, it gets from island to island, so that's how islands get colonized. Islands that don't have any natural animals. We also get an Imperobator scene in Antarctica, actually, and you know, it's always cool to see some dinosaurs in some cold climates, as we saw in the Ice Wars episode. But no, these guys are hunting a Morosaurus, which actually gets away. It's good to see some herbivores getting some W's here. We don't want to see every hunt succeeding, because that's not how nature works. Most hunts do fail. So it's nice to see this little Morosaurus guy getting away. I do like the Imperobator designs too. I think that's it for Islands. I love this episode. A lot of diversity. I want to say, going to the tier list, I believe I am going to put it in the top of S tier. Might be my favorite one. I think I'm going to go for S tier. I'm going to put down Coast a little bit. Badlands. Now, this second episode of Season 2 goes into the Badlands, which are, you know, lands that are bad. Just kidding. So it's basically like the deserted or not so flourishing rich environments, I guess. That's a word I just invented. But yeah, it's mostly desolate places. And it starts with a herd of Icysaurs. Cool little, not little, but cool medium-sized titanosaurs from India in the Deccan Traps, which is this. In the show, it's portrayed in like a huge volcanic range, which is pretty badass when you see them just walking alongside these active volcanoes. Sick. These guys are actually going to nest because they're going to use the volcanic warmth to incubate their eggs. Pretty nice. We're going to come back to that because this show actually does a good little arc, and it ends with these guys as well. We do have a hunting scene, kind of, with some Tarbosaurus trying to hunt some sauropods. But I do have a little problem with this part, is we don't actually see the Tarbosaurus hunting. Why? Because we do actually shift to Velociraptors, which are not supposed to be here at this time period, but the Velociraptors are using the sauropods getting scared to actually hunt some smaller dinosaurs, which are the Prehistoric, little Pachycephalosaurs from Mongolia. And I guess it's cool. Sending some Velociraptors hunting. Again, we've seen them hunt before, but we didn't see the Tarbosaurus actually getting some action. So I was actually hoping to see some action from the Tarbos, which are one of the best designs in the show. But no, we get some Velociraptor hunting. It's fine. And one actually does a kangaroo dropkick on a Prehistoric, and it just launches it off a cliff, which is, I guess is a choice. It's pretty funny when it happened. It actually became a meme too. But, they do hunt the Prehistoric. We do see another a dromaeosaur, a Curicula. Carcilla. I can't remember the exact name. I think it's Curicula. And it actually wants to steal some eggs from some Corythoraptor, which are nesting. And, the Corythoraptor being much bigger. It's like, bro, what are you trying to do here? Mug me? Get out of here. But, the Curicula is smart. He retreats and then comes back at night when everyone's mostly sleeping, and it actually gets in on some eggs. It actually steals some to feed its own. Mother steals from another mother to feed its babies. That is nature. And we do see some ankylosaur action with some Tarchias. A couple of young Tarchias, not battling because they don't actually hurt each other. But, they try to scare off a old bull Tarchia, which is much bigger than him. I think it's mostly for a watering hole, if I recall correctly. Yeah, they're fighting over a watering hole. But, and as a full circle, as I said, we get the Icysaurus babies all incubated, the eggs, babies hatch. This is all fun, but now they gotta run from these volcanic lands to the forest, where it is very treacherous because we got some Rajasaurus, a Pelisaur from India again. Sick ass design too. I mean, this show just goes far and beyond with the designs. Like, sick, the Rajasaurus. I love it. And as the name of the show is, baby murder, they do murder a lot of babies, and they eat them. Pretty sad. I think that's it for Badlands. Do I want to put an S tier? I don't think so, because that Tarbosaurus scene left me hanging. So I'm gonna put it in A tier, and I think I'm gonna lower Forest to B tier. Swamps. Now, in the third episode of season 2, we got swamps. Now, the first part of the first segment of the episode shows us some pterosaur hatchlings taking flight near a swamp. I believe this might be, I can't remember if it's implied in the episode or it's said in the episode. But this does look like the area where in season 1 the Quetzalcoatlus mother was hatching or was nesting. So these might be Astarkid babies. I don't know if it's said that they're Astarkid babies, but I think they might be. But they're trying to fly over this river, which again, this is kind of like what happens in the first episode, the coast episode. with the baby pterosaurs flying. But these ones are over a river or a lake, and we got some Shamusukus, which are some crocodilians from the Cretaceous, and I think this is the roughest the show has looked because those Shamusukus look a little rough. I'm not gonna lie, especially because they intercut with some footage of live crocodiles from today. So I'm like, bro, why is this the weakest CGI being paired with actual real footage? It just makes the Shamusukas look much worse. And yeah, they look a little, as I was saying, they don't look great per se compared to the other CGI in the show, which is top notch. This one just looks a little worse. But yeah, and then we get to a really cool animal in the next segment with the Ostroraptor congregating in some, again, I get some swamp area, but there's I believe there's a garfish or a population, like overpopulation at the moment. Like I guess it's breeding season sorry, for garfish. So I was about to say Garfield, sorry. And these Ostroraptors are just, getting in on the fun and just eating as much garfish as they can. So they congregate, a lot of these guys, they fight with each other. We get into little skirmishes over there. I like the design of the Ostroraptors as well. There's one Dromaeosaur which needs much more time on screen. I really like it. It's awesome. It's from South America too. You don't see that many South American Dromaeosaurs. But yes. Then we got a Beelzebufo. Again, this guy is a chunker. I said in the first season that he's going to show up later. This is the episode. This guy is want to get some action, basically. And the thing is, in Madagascar, there are some much bigger boys than him. Even though Madagascar in islands specifically, animals tend to get smaller, like Rapitosaurus, a sauropod that shows up in the episode. Beelzebufo is the big frog, the devil frog. And, in this time, he doesn't get to eat any dinosaur babies, fortunately, but he does want to get some action with some female Beelzebufos. And the Rapitosaurus just, I didn't want to say a word, but they're kind of cuck him. And, he can't get some ladies, basically. And in the end, I think the Rapitosaurus, after they get their moth bath, they leave. But, my boy Beelzebufo, come on. He just wants to get some action. Come on. Leave him be. There's also a fun scene where he just falls down like a log, which is in slow motion, which is really funny. That's literally just how frogs fall. But yeah, we get some Pachycephalosaur fighting as well. Pretty sick. I love the design too. The green body with the red dome head. Awesome looking Pachycephalosaurus. We love to see it. It's in a kind of a deserted area, which, it's apparently, I think in the show they say it's a dried up swamp. Then guess what? It's not a swamp anymore. So why is this in the swamps episode? Why doesn't it show up in the last episode, which I'm gonna talk about? Because that is quite the environment. And we also, at the end of the episode, we get to see some amazing hunting from T-Rex. Probably the most realistic hunting we've seen of a T-Rex on screen. That scene where it's a night and they're just stalking an Edmontosaurus, this big-ass T-Rex is hunting, just stalking. Amazing. Beautiful. The way they killed it as well, trying to be as silent as they could. One swift bite, you're done. I want to love this episode, believe me. But it's got some issues. And I'm gonna... Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm kind of messing up here. I'm gonna put it in B tier. Oceans. Now, this is the 4th episode, season 2. And I'm gonna say it right out of the gate. I think this might be my least favorite episode. Is it bad? No. However, this is just a personal thing, but usually I'm not a big fan of the ocean, like water episodes of shows of natural history, like animal shows or documentary shows. And I'm not the biggest fan of the ocean episodes. That's just a me thing. If you love the oceans, if you love the ocean episodes in, whatever media you're watching, Good for you. And more power to you, but I'm not the biggest fan. However, I do enjoy this episode still. It's not that I didn't like it, it's just that I prefer the other ones. In this episode, we see a multitude of different animals, actually. That's what I appreciate as well. We see a different mosasaur, Phosphorosaurus, a mosasaur I talk about in my mosasaur video. Check that one out. I'm just plugging in here everything. I'm sorry. But yeah, this guy is, I think it's a girl actually, is actually hunting at night because she has some big eyes. And basically this mosasaur specializes in much more of a moon, uses the darkness in its favor to hunt some bioluminescent fish. Really nice. We do see a group of Hesperornis as well in this episode. I'm sorry about that. And we see a group of Hesperornis in the episode. Animal I was awaiting to show up here because I really like Hesperornis too. And it shows up with its this other fish that it cannot show up. It cannot. Wait, how am I gonna say this? It cannot not show up in a in a scene where Hesperornis is in, because if Hesperornis is in the scene, Scyphacton's gotta be in the scene. And this guy, I think he hunts Hesperornis, but he also hunts other Scyphactons, which are much smaller. Scyphactons, just so you know, is that big ass ugly fish that you see. Huge fish. We see the famous mosasaur breach scene, which I gotta admit is pretty hype. The mosasaur just coming on from the bottom of the seabed and just going up at max speed, just breaching with the I think it's I can't remember. It's some type of elasmosaur in its jaws. It just amazing shot, cinema, pretty sick. We do have a scene with a ton of different ammonites, which actually gave me an idea to make a video in the future, which is weird ammonites. Because there's a shot where they show all of these different ammonite shells. It's pretty insane how a lot of these animals actually existed. But yeah, you gotta see a ton of different ammonite types. And, actually really like that part. Pretty diverse. At the end, I think we see some different elasmosaur, Mortonaria, which is, I believe, in Antarctica as well. And we actually see it right below the ice caps that form on the surface. And I think we see it kind of hunting on the seabed too, like moving all the sediments so we can get some food over there. But yes, oceans, not my favorite, I have to say. It's still good. I'm gonna be completely honest. You're gonna go in C tier, North America. We're at the end of the season 2 of Prehistoric Planet with the environment called North America. Yes, this episode is called North America, and you can see the huge difference with the naming of previous episodes. We got the deserts, we got the oceans, we got the coasts, and we got the North Americas, because they ran out of things. I think the actual reason they named it North America is because these were all scenes that didn't fit a certain theme, or they were leftovers from other scenes to not make the other episodes much longer than they needed to be. So they actually just compiled them into this one episode, just called North America, which fine, I guess. Okay, you could have just added it to the other episodes and made them longer. I get it, but you needed 5 episodes for each season, so I get it. It's fine. And we see the famous T-Rex versus Quetzalcoatlus fight. Very controversial because of the outcome, but if you know animals in real life, they do not want to get hurt. That is the last thing they want to be, injured. And even more than winning, they don't want to get injured. That's just how nature works. And a T-Rex does not want to lose an eye to a freaking Quetzalcoatlus when he could just walk away and then come back later. good for the Quetzalcoatlus. There were 2 of them. What are you gonna do? But yes, we actually see the death of a majestic Alamosaurus as well. Pretty nice to see Alamosaurus represented in media. Really like it. Back in the water, we see a Globidens, which is a cool mosasaur, which has globe teeth, which are made for crushing, and it does show up crushing some shells and some Sphenodiscus mollusks getting absolutely destroyed by some Globidens. One of the cool little new animals that show up in this episode as well is Pectinodon, a troodontid. I really like the design too. It shows up with his babies, which pretty cool that they have a different, coat of feathers, like different color feathers. I really like that. And they show up in I can't remember the name of this of the environment that this is called. I'm so sorry. But it's kind of a salt plain, something like that. And the babies are trying to catch some flies, basically. And while the father is trying to hunt some Stygianeta, which are, some prehistoric birds, basically. Which look a little weird, but they have a pretty cool design, too. The babies hunting the flies actually reminds me of another show. I don't know if you've seen it, Future is Wild, which is a wild show. Let me know if you want me to talk about that show as well. I love that one. But it reminded me of the future lizard also trying to catch some flies. This just gave me a flashback to that. I don't know why. Probably because it was hunting flies too. But yeah, it's pretty adorable. We actually see some Triceratops again. This time 2 males fighting. One of them being based on the specimen, the Yoshi Strike, which has some insane horns. I think I have this figure of Triceratops that I have is actually also based on that individual because, look at his horns. Those are some big horns. Yeah. Just imagine this just ramming at you. Insane. But yeah. Triceratops, I think I really like the Triceratops, specifically the individual variation between them. I really like that. And, we see some Triceratops mating too. Pretty nice. And to end the show, we got some Nanucosaurus, a Nanucosaurus mother, trying to hunt some ornithomimus actually, specifically. In a cool, helicopter shot from above, pretty awesome looking. But again, we see Anacosaurus hunting for the second time. I guess it's cool that we show them hunting not only hard prey, which are, the Pachyrhinosaurus, but also some much more gracile and faster prey, like the Ornithomimus. And yes, I say mother because she ends up feeding her babies with it. So for North America, I gotta say it's not my favorite episode, so it's gonna penalize it a lot. I'm gonna put it in B tier, which is fine, but I think it's gonna be B tier. It's pretty balanced actually. And this is gonna be the tier list for Prehistoric Planet. Both seasons tiered in a tier list. Let me know in the comments, guys. What is your favorite Prehistoric Planet season 2 or season 1? I can't remember if I asked that question in the first video, but let me know which is your favorite episode and which is your favorite design as well, and how you would make your own tier list. What's your favorite episodes? Please like the video, helps a lot. Subscribe, it helps even more. And I'll see you guys in the next video. See you guys.